I'll double click, and then what I need to do is make this a MIDI track. So I have to change the input to MIDI. Okay, in MIDI, and select all MIDI inputs, all channels, okay? All MIDI inputs, all channels. Now it's already set correctly. It should be set up so when you play some notes here, let me put the volume down a bit, okay. You'll see the light up here. Okay, so that yellow light means that it is receiving MIDI input, so I can record with it, okay? And like I said, it's in Control P, which is Preferences, and the MIDI devices, it's already enabled. Audio box US MIDI in enabled, and audio box US MIDI out enabled, okay. So I can record something, for example, from my keyboard, and it will record it. So Control R. And spacebar. So if you see there's all that stuff recorded. These are MIDI notes, which we'll talk about more. And if I double click it, it will open up to the piano roll, depending on which one is selected. So you might see numbers, and up here on the top left, you can control the view. So normally you want it on the piano roll. And from here, you can do things like edit and change the notes and change the velocity, etc., etc. Let me just click the X, okay? Now, let me click here to start playback here, and I'll press play, the space bar. Now notice I'm not hearing anything, but you can see the lights blinking up, which means that it's sending the MIDI note information. So the reason for that is very simple. The route needs to be set. So if you click on route, this is the road, okay? In other words, this information is not going down the right road. It's not going anywhere. So we click root and you go to MIDI hardware output. MIDI hardware output. We'll do that again. Root, click the root, MIDI hardware output, and audio box US MIDI output. And get rid of that. Now it's going to send to the MIDI box, MIDI out, cables which are connected to the back of the keyboard. So when we press play, we can hear some sound there. If I want to go back to the beginning, the scroll wheel, this wheel, the green one, I can just hit the left bracket here. Okay, left, right. So left will take me all the way back to the beginning. Okay, so that's a quick way also to do that. There are times when you'll want to record MIDI notes or information on the same track that you just recorded on. So please pay careful attention. It is very important you set the recording mode to overdub. So what that means is you're just going to add information on top. Otherwise, if you record something new on top, it will delete the old stuff. Okay, so that's kind of important to know about. So if you go to the in here, record in, put, you go to, so here we go, once again, in, and then record MIDI overdub replace. Okay, MIDI overdub replace, and we go to MIDI overdub. So you want the MIDI to overdub. That's the way my workflow is. That's the way I usually work, because often I want to add stuff. Okay, so you want to make sure you select overdub if you want to be able to record on top of what you already recorded, and just to add it instead of deleting it, which is replace. Okay, so overdub, cello. Now I can record more stuff on top. So for example, okay, spacebar. So now I have added some extra notes. I've just added to it. So let's hear it. Etc. And the sound is coming from here. This is generating the sound, but it's coming from the audio cable into the audio interface and out the speaker so I can hear it. Okay? I can also turn off the mains and use headphones instead to hear it quietly. So we just overdubbed. Now, there's another issue we have when we are using this guy, because we need to make sure that when we turn this off, when we turn off the software, when you turn off the computer, and come back to the project the next day, how will this know that it's playing this particular sound? So what that means is we have to record the sound information here, meaning what sound am I using? We have to record that here. And the simplest way to do that is we record the changing of the sound number. So that means right now we've got number 56, which is Ezra 2, which is an organ sound, electronic organ sound. So what I'll do is I'll go up one with the arrow here, and I will hit record on the computer in Reaper. Then I will come back here, go down to 56, and that change will be recorded in the software. So let's do that. Okay, I'm on 55. I'll go to here, okay, hit record, and 56, Ezra, okay? Yeah. Okay, so now, if you look carefully here, we see a PC right here. That's program change. It was recorded in there, okay? Now, here's the thing. It was recorded here. It should be recorded before the music starts. Okay, so what that means is, if you happen to change the sound here, for example, let's say I'm using 58, which is sax, okay? Okay, first it will be, you'll hear 58, and then when the program change is transmitted back to the synthesizer, then only you will hear the organ sound. So check this out. So you heard the change, right? I can even do it more dramatic. Yeah, London spiccato. So right now, it'll just play back whatever sound is currently selected here. And only when it hits the program change, then it will send the right sound number to here, and then you'll hear the right sound. You see? So we want this program change to be here. So that's why when recording MIDI, especially using the hardware synthesizer, it's not a bad idea to record 1 or 2 bars of blank space and then start recording, because you can always reduce that empty bars later, okay? And it gives you time to, for example, enter a program change. So what we'll do is this. We shall double click here, okay? And we're opened up in the piano roll. What we want to do is go to the third one, which is the event list. Okay, event list here. Okay, piano roll and event list. The event list will give numbers. So what you're looking for is PC. And you'll find that there's two CCs and a PC. This is just MIDI information to tell the synthesizer what sound to play. This is 56 that we are sending, but the problem is we're sending it a bit late. So we can manually change it. So what we want to do is these three Cs, the two CCs, and the PCC. The PC, we want to change that all the times there. So let me go in here manually. I'll double click and I'll change this to 1. Enter. Same thing here. Okay, we'll change that to 1. Enter. And last but not least, the all-important program change. We will change that to 1. Now you see that it is now at the top. So this is the first thing that's happening in the MIDI track. And that's the first thing that will get sent to the synthesizer. So then you'll have the right sound. Let me hit escape to get rid of that. I'll go back to the beginning, left bracket. And I'm going to go back here and change the sound to 0. Enter. By the way, the scroll wheel isn't working, so just don't bother with it. This doesn't work. You can put in numbers and hit enter. You can also go up and down here with the arrows. So I'm on piano. Okay? Or so this is a piano sound, if you can hear it. So now, when I press play, the sound will change to that number very quickly, as soon as it hits the PC. So just watch this. It will, as I press play, it will change to number 56. Play. So there we go. We have learned how to do a program change. We have to manually record it in.